You know, as much as I enjoy doing it, I love kids. I'm ready for it to be over. I'm spread pretty thin.
It runs after a while, doesn't it?
I think the same thing about certain things. I do, I run the school tours up at Lynn's. I think I've done about 6,000 kids so far this season. Got 2 more weeks to go. Yeah. And it's fine. I've been doing it for years, but I'm thinking I can find something maybe different for next year.
Yeah.
When I do it, then I'll probably miss it, but I don't know.
Everybody leave.
That clock is still running.
That clock is wrong. Got me 3 minutes.
When did we get there?
It's been a few months ago, but would have thought that they had maybe adjusted it to the right time.
What are those two black things above the window?
That's a good question. See, that's my thing. When I start taking things out of order, they'll blow up or something.
Right. Shoot tranquilizers at us.
I'll bet you it's the cameras because this is all streamed, I guess, however you call it. It is live streamed, right?
It's live streamed.
So it's probably cameras.
Did you see this one?
It did. I was wondering when something would come out for that. Southeast corner. But I think Microsoft does the southwest corner. They own a lot of that.
Do they?
So unless I have that information.
It's the northwest corner of it.
What about southwest of Meekin Broad?
Lincoln Broad, Southwest Lincoln Broad.
Or the northwest of Refugee and Meek?
What?
The northwest of Refugee and Meek?
That'd be the northwest of Broad and
Going road.
310.
Cut the conversation. It's happening.
I don't know the
That's
answer.
where Microsoft.
That's all right. I got the answer. We're okay.
So the corner of the southwest corner of Mink and Broad is
I
still
think we're fine.
the one guy,
Yeah.
One more minute.
and then the southeast corner is.
I think we got a bunch of speaker requests. I saw me handing it.
We'll get through it.
Oh, yeah. And then she'll probably want to bring them over here before she starts the camera.
I like to complain this packet is too thick.
Get right back.
I'll take it here.
Okay.
Speaking that.
Thank you. You gonna go turn the
Yes.
thing on there? What's this? Say. Yep, we're good. Good. You just mess up my microphone. All right. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting of our Board of Zoning Appeals to order, and it is, I got 6:30, October 14th. Now, if you would all rise and join me in Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. And can I go ahead and get a roll call of the board?
Mr. Howell,
I'm here.
Mr. Coleman.
Here.
Mr. Janderin, Mr. Cooper.
Here.
Thank you. We have three of our board here, so we do have a quorum, so we can, I'm sure everyone's happy, we can move on, right? All right, old business, none? Nothing to carry on? And then we'll jump right into new business, variance application 25-027, please.
The applicant and owner of the application is Justin Coleman. The applicant property is 6335 Summit Road South. The zoning is R87, medium low density residential, and the applicant requesting approval of the variance in section 1291.02A4 to allow for the installation of a gravel parking pad in a platted subdivision. So this is an aerial view of the property. The property is outlined in yellow right here. Summit Road is to the west right here. The property is 0.34 acres. It is occupied by a 1,000 square foot house, and previously it was occupied by a 352 square foot garage, accessed from an unapproved right of way to the east that was recently demolished. It has frontage on 3 right of ways: Summit Road southwest to the west, and 2 unapproved right of ways to the north and east. Accessory buildings are required to meet the 75-foot setback from all 3 of these right of ways. On July 8th, the BZA approved VA 25-014 to allow for reduced setbacks for the construction of a 400 square foot garage in the same location as the now demolished garage. The northern setback was reduced from 75 to 60 feet, and the eastern setback was set back from 75 to 1 foot. This is a site plan of what was approved on July 8th. The new garage was proposed in the same location as the garage right here. The new proposal is to build a 24-foot wide by 20-foot long garage, set back 60 feet from the north property line, 33 feet from the east property line, and 9 feet from the south property line. The proposal also includes the installation of a 24-foot wide, 30-foot long gravel parking pad in between the proposed garage and the eastern property line, and set back 3 feet from the eastern property line. Section 1291.02A4 says that all parking in platted subdivisions is required to be made with asphalt, concrete, or pavers. This is a site plan of the new proposal with the garage now moved west and the parking pad in between it and the eastern property line. The applicant says that a lack of designated parking surface causes drainage issues and yard damage. The installing a hard surface parking area would be financially burdensome and unnecessary for the amount the parking area would be used. There are similar gravel parking areas in the neighborhood, and the applicant is not aware of zoning requirements when they purchased the property. The approved variance application VA 25-014 reduced the northern setback from 75 to 60 feet and the eastern setback from 75 to 1 foot. The new site plan will maintain the 60-foot northern setback, and no additional variances are required there. The new site plan will increase the eastern setback from 1 to 32 feet, so no additional variances will also be required. The new site plan will reduce the southern setback from 19 to 9 feet, but the proposal will still meet the 5-foot minimum setback on that side. As mentioned above, section 1291.02A4 states that all parking in platted subdivision is required to be made of asphalt, concrete, or pavers. A variance is requested to allow for the installation of a 24-foot wide by 30-foot long, 720 square feet gravel parking pad to the east of the proposed garage, 60 feet from the north, 16 feet from the south, and 3 feet from the eastern property line. Should this variance be approved, the applicant will need to submit for a driveway permit with the Planning and Zoning Department before beginning construction. And no other departments or agencies come in. The property is mostly surrounded by R87, medium low density residential, and is mostly surrounded by single family homes. Here's the findings of fact, the staff report. And should the board choose to approve the applicant's request, the following conditions need to be considered. The applicant shall obtain all necessary permits from the city of Pataskala within 1 year of the date of approval. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. So basically, this is the variance, or the same situation, if you will, that we passed a few months ago. moving instead of putting the building on the existing spot, they want to move it in and put a gravel lot in. Okay. Any feedback from local citizens?
No.
Any questions for staff?
None.
Is Destiny Colvin here? And Destiny, I'm going to have you get sworn in, please.
Please swear or affirm the testimony about the
Ms. Colvin.
truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
And if you don't mind, state your name and address, please, for the record.
Destiny Coleman, 6335 Summit Road Southwest.
Thank you, Ms. Coleman. Obviously, you've heard the presentation. Is there anything you want to clarify or add to that?
I know that you had said it great, perfectly. I am proposing to have a gravel parking pad. A lot of my neighbors, about 90% of them all have gravel as well. So I'm just asking to have that approved today.
Okay. And seems pretty cut and dry.
I think so.
Any
Yeah.
questions?
No, I have no questions.
Well, I'm sorry I had to drag you up here. Okay, thank you. That being said, then I think, unless we have objection, I can move right to findings of fact. All right. And move that over here and say findings of fact for variance application 25-027. We got A, whether the property in question will yield a reasonable return.
Yes.
Okay, I'm comfortable with yes on that. B, whether there are unique physical circumstances or conditions that prohibit the property from being developed in strict conformity with the zoning regulation, such that a variance is necessary. I don't know
No.
if there's any real physical, comfortable with no?
I am comfortable.
I think so. Okay, C, whether the variance requested is substantial. We don't have any percentage basis, but I'm comfortable with no on that.
Yeah, unless I miss something. No.
Okay. D, whether the essential character of the neighborhood would be substantially altered or adjoining properties would suffer substantial detriment as a result. And I'm comfortable with no on that.
Agree.
Good. E, whether the variance, if granted, will substantially or permanently impair the appropriate use or development of the adjacent property.
Nope.
And it would not have any effect really on adjacent property. F, whether the property or whether the variance, if granted, will be detrimental to the public welfare. Nope, again, don't see any negative. G, whether the variance, if granted, would adversely affect the delivery of government services. None.
Nope.
Have none, no effect on that, negative effect. H, whether the property owner who purchased the property, the subject property with knowledge of the zoning restriction. I believe in the staff report it said that she did not. So
Yeah,
I'm going to
they
say
did
no
say
on that.
Okay.
Okay. I, whether the property owner's predicament can be obviated through some other method than variance. No, I don't think so. Not if they're going to continue with their project and with the size of the property.
Sounds good.
I'm going to say no.
Agreed.
J, whether the variance, if granted, will represent the minimum variance that will afford relief and represent the least modification possible of the requirement at issue.
Said yes. I'm okay with you.
Okay. And whether the spirit and intent behind the zoning requirement would be observed and substantial justice done by granting the variance. And I'm comfortable with yes on that.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, thank you. So findings of fact, variance application 25027. I've got yes for A, J, and for K, and no for all others, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and for I. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, can I get a motion?
I move to approve the variance request for variance application VA-25-027 with the following condition. The applicant shall obtain all necessary permits from the city of Pataskala within 1 year of the date of approval.
Thank you. Got a motion? Can I get a second?
Second.
And a second. Any discussion?
Nope.
Hearing none, roll please.
Mr. Coleman.
Yes.
Mr. Pierce.
Yes.
Mr. Howe.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Colvin. You can continue with the revised project now, I guess, right? Thank you and good luck. I'm going to take things a little bit differently at this, instead of waiting at the end, instead of doing a whole bunch, I'm going to make a motion right now to accept the findings of fact as we just discussed them for variance application 25-027. Can I get a second?
Second.
And motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll, please.
Mr. Howe?
Yes.
Mr. Coleman?
Yes.
Mr. Cooper?
Yes.
Thank you. Findings of fact have been accepted as discussed. Variance application 25027. Moving on to variance application 25028.
Of course. So location is at 12114 Mill Street Road Southwest. It's currently zoned agricultural. We're requesting approval of a variance to allow for a lot split that will create 2 lots less than the minimum required lot area. So take a look up here. Parcel in yellow is the parcel in question. You got frontage to the south on the Mill Street and as well to the north on Broad Street. So it's 9.6 acres size right now, occupied by a single family home with access to Mill Street and accessory building. Again, there's 2 frontages, Mill Street to the south, Broad Street to the north. Lots about just over 350 feet wide and over 1,137 feet deep. Proposal is to subdivide the lot, creating 2. The first, the new lot's going to be 2.438 acres with frontage on Broad Street, leaving the remainder 6.537 acres fronting on Mill Street, containing the existing home and accessory structure. It's in the agricultural zoning district where the minimum lot size is 10 acres. It'll meet the lot width requirement, but both lots will not meet the minimum lot area. The existing lot is also non-conforming as it is only 9.6 acres in size. Here's a look at the proposed subdivision. So we have the new acreage up here that just over 2.5 running on Broad Street, and the remainder staying with the frontage on Mill Street. In the narrative statement that was submitted by the applicant, they say the existing parcel is non-conforming as well as many of the adjacent properties. First, the lot split is to transfer the new parcel to a neighbor on the adjoining property. They believe the request will not substantially alter the existing character of the neighborhood and would not impair the use or development of adjacent property. They also said they're unaware of the zoning restriction at the time when the property was purchased. Staff went off with the following comments. 122505B in the agricultural district, the minimum lot size is 10 acres. It's currently existing non-conforming at only 9.6. The new lot's proposed at 2.438. So the variance request is for a reduction of 7.562 acres, or pushed over 75% decrease from the requirement. The creation of the new lot will also leave a remainder of 6.5, which will be 3.463 acres less than required, or just over 34%. The new lot's technically going to have frontage onto a public right-of-way. However, actual access directly to the street would be difficult due to the viaduct there. Need to either get shared access to the existing private access drive or grant themselves a cross-access agreement through the adjoining property they own as part of the replat. Because this lot is a platted lot and they do go to subdivide it, we'll have to take the replat application to the Planning and Zoning Commission next for approval. As far as access on the north side of Broad Street, here's what I was talking about. The guardrail for the viaduct over the railroad track starts right here. So getting direct access to the street would be difficult. Granted, they technically do have that access. They'll just need to figure out to deal with the neighbor or give themselves access to their property here. Lincoln County Health Department said they need a lot split application to be submitted. However, they don't foresee any issues. Did not receive any comments from any other departments or agencies. Surrounding properties to the north is R20, which is a single family home. To the east is zoned ag, which is a single family home. On the south side, you have planned manufacturing, which is currently used for agricultural uses. On the west side, you have a mix of GB and R20, which is an auto repair and a church in the GB area and single family homes in the R20. Your findings of fact for an area variance. Should the board choose to approve the applicant's request, following conditions may be considered. The applicant address all comments from the Lincoln County Health Department and obtain a replat approval from the Planning and Zoning Commission within 1 year of the date of approval. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those.
Any questions for staff?
You said that drive between Broad and the property right there, is that private or public?
Private. It's in public right away, but we aren't maintaining it. It's been there since at least 1993, as far as I can tell. That's as far back as my area would just go.
Impressive. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Do you got a speaker request, Mr. England?
Yes, sir.
Over here. Can I get you sworn in, please?
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you must give the truth and nothing but the truth?
Okay, Mr. England, thank you. You've heard the presentation. Is there anything that you want to add or clarify?
No, sir, just here to answer any questions.
My first question is what is your relationship to the owner?
I'm a surveyor, I was hired to replat the property and survey.
Gotcha. And do you know, I guess, that drive cutting into the property over by Broad Street? I don't know for sure, but is that the only access to that property on the east side of it?
Yes, yes, sir.
And so how would that affect this lot split?
The property to the east,
Correct.
I don't know, because it's in the right of way, it's outside of the limits of the property that we're surveying. The driveway does cut into the Glenn's property, and we've created a easement for their driveway encroachment as it is, to help with the fact that it's not would be considered an encroachment.
Okay. Thank you.
Was that right? They said that the reason for the split is to sell it to one of the neighbors?
Great.
Is it that same neighbor?
No, to the west.
Okay.
So that neighbor, obviously, is there intention to build on that? Oh, it must be the neighbors here.
That's the Glenn's, the owners.
Gotcha. Okay. And so they'll obviously have to get variances when they do that because it's gotcha. Okay. I don't know that I have any questions.
No further questions.
No, sir. No. Thank you.
Good.
All right. I don't think there's anyone else for this that wants to speak for this variance. Okay. That being said, I think we can move then to findings of fact. Variance application 25-028. Again, A, whether the property in question will yield a reasonable return. There can be a beneficial use of the property, and I believe that there can be and is.
Agreed.
Okay, B, whether there are unique physical circumstances or conditions that prohibit the property being developed in strict conformity with the zoning regulation, such as the variance is necessary. Well, the unique physical circumstance in this case is we got a non-conforming lot to begin with. True. I think so. I would say comfortably with yes on that. Okay. C, whether the variance requested is substantial. Thoughts?
I would say yes. We have the one that's a 75% reduction, and then the other one is 30%.
By default, it's substantial.
Okay, comfortable. So C would be yes. D, whether the essential character of the neighborhood would be substantially altered or adjoining properties would suffer substantial detriment as a result. There is a little bit of a connection with the adjoining properties in this case, but there's easements there, so I'm going to say no on this.
I would agree with that.
Okay. E, whether the variance, if granted, will substantially or permanently impair the appropriate use or development of adjacent property. And again, I don't think that would have a negative effect.
Agreed.
Okay. F, whether the variance, if granted, will be detrimental to the public welfare. Comfortable with no?
No.
G, whether the variance, if granted, would adversely affect the delivery of government services. I don't think that's the
I
problem.
would say no.
H, whether the property owner purchased the subject property with knowledge of the zoning restriction.
You said no, I believe.
You think? Okay, I'm comfortable with no on that. I, whether the property owner's predicament can be obviated through some other method than variance. I guess I could sell the whole 9 acres too.
But not for the split.
I'm sorry?
If they're doing a split, there's no.
No. So I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
Okay. J, whether the variance, if granted, will represent the minimum variance that will afford relief and represent the least modification possible of the requirement at issue, and I'm comfortable with yes on
Yes,
that.
sir.
Agreed.
They've looked that over. And K, whether the spirit and intent behind the requirement would be observed and substantial justice done by granting it. Comfortable with yes again.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Variance application 25-028. We find findings of fact a yes for A, B, C, J, and K, and no for D, E, F, G, H, and for I. Any other discussion?
No, sir.
Hearing none, can we move to a motion?
I move to approve the variance request for variance application VA-25-028 with the following conditions. One, that the applicant shall address all comments with the Licking County Health Department. And 2, that the applicant shall obtain replat approval from the Planning and Zoning Commission within 1 year of the date of approval.
Thank you. I second that. Motion and a second. Any discussion?
Nope.
Hearing none, roll please.
Mr. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Coleman?
Yes.
Mr. Howe?
Yes. Thank you. Variance application 25028 has been accepted and approved as presented. Thank you. Good luck with the split. I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to accept the findings of fact for variance application 25028 as we just discussed. And can I get a second?
I'll second that.
And do I have any discussion? Roll, please.
Mr. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Coleman?
Yes.
Mr. Howe?
Yes. Thank you. Findings of fact have been accepted for 25-028. Okay, moving on to variance application 25-029.
The location of this property is 12497 Broad Street Southwest. The zoning is GB, general business, and the applicant is requesting approval of 3 variances to the code in order to allow for an electronic message center sign that will exceed the maximum allowable sign area, changeable copy sign area, and for a changeable copy sign to not be fully framed. This is the aerial view of the property. Broad Street is to the north right here, actually. That's black arrow. It is a 3.2 acre parcel with a 17,000 square foot commercial building and about 75,000 square foot of parking area. Access to Broad Street to the north, and it is currently occupied by Tech R2, but was formerly a Harley Davidson dealer. The applicant also owns the adjacent 6.57 acre parcel to the west and south of the property. The BZA previously approved these 3 variance requests for the same property on June 11, 2024, which was variance application 24-003. The approval expired without the project being started or conditions fulfilled on June 11, 2025. The request is to install a double-sided electronic message center sign which would be 44 square feet, 9.8 feet in height, and mounted between 2 brick posts on a brick foundation. 1295.10 B7A1 of the code states that EMC signs must be completely framed by the structure. And per the applicant, the sign will not employ any animation techniques, will have a dark background with a single color at any time, will be fitted with automatic dimming capability, and will not change more than once in a 3-minute period. This is what the sign would look like. So the width would be about 100 feet. The height would be about 117 inches. And this is what it would be like in relation to about a 5-foot person. This is where the sign would be located, in the same area that the existing sign is currently located up near Broad Street. The applicant believes there are unique physical characteristics to the property. They stated that they believe that the proposed sign is not overly large, as they own 11 acres in total, and that the size is relatively similar to the previous motorcycle dealership sign. The applicant stated that they believe the request, if granted, would not be detrimental to the public welfare because they are a data security company that works for state and local governments. This is the existing conditions of the site. Looking to the west, the existing sign is right here, and that would be where the new sign would be located as well. Section 1291.09 B2C states that the maximum area for a sign is 32 square feet. The proposed sign is at 44 square feet, which exceeds the maximum by 12 square feet, or a 37.78 increase. 1295.10 B7A1 states that all changeable copy signs shall be completely framed by the monument structure. The sign is only framed by posts on the left and right side, and so a variance is also requested from that. 1295.10 B7A3 states that changeable copy signs are limited to 30% of the sign face or 24 square feet, whichever is less. The area is proposed at 44 square feet, 30% of which is 13 square feet. This is less than 24 square feet, So maximum allowable is 13.277 square feet. This exceeds the maximum by 30 square feet or a 233.23% increase. The applicant said that the previous sign was similarly sized. Staff does not have the original permit on file and cannot confirm. As previous signs have been discontinued for 30 days or more, new signage must meet current code. Section 1295.09B to D5A could allow for an additional ground sign based on width of lot frontage. However, as lots are separate individual lots, this does not count. The max size for each sign is still limited to 32 square feet. The city engineer comments that they suggest not setting the precedent of approving oversized signs on a state route, and no other departments or agencies commented. The surrounding properties to the north is M1 Light Manufacturing, occupied by 8T. To the east is general business, occupied by a gun range. To the south is general business and planned manufacturing, vacant. And to the west is general business and planned manufacturing, also vacant. These are the findings of fact located in your staff report. And there's also a further findings of fact to consider from section 1211.072G to increase the maximum allowable height or area of signs on a lot. It is suggested that the same should not be increased more than 25%. Should the board choose to approve the applicant's request, the following conditions may be considered. The applicant shall obtain all necessary permits from the city of Pataskala and Licking County Building Code Department within 1 year of the date of approval. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
We've addressed this situation before. And what is the difference between this one and the one we approved?
Nothing.
Just time?
Yeah.
Kind of thought. Okay.
Everything is the same.
I do have a request from Mr. Robbins. Okay, and if I swear you in there.
You swear or affirm the testimony about the case of truth and
And name and address, please.
Name is Charles Robbins, the Chief Compliance Officer, TIC R2. Our address is 12497 Broad Street, Southwest Pataskala.
Thank you. Did you have something that you wanted to add or clarify?
We, if you remember on the drawings, it was a modular sign. And we really tried to work with the company out of Texas, and that's one reason why the new sign isn't there. So we did contact the company right here in Central Ohio, and then they'll end up doing an electronic panel of it, but everything will be the same. Instead of it the modular, it'll be just a whole LCD frame or lighted frame.
Okay.
So if you went back to the previous one, so instead of having individual modules, that was a whole up on getting those modules out of China.
Questions for Mr. Robbins?
No, I have none.
My one question is, because I don't remember from the previous time, is whether or not when you purchased the property, you were aware of the zoning restriction. Okay, well, that just gives me a no right there. Okay, any other for Mr. Robbins?
No.
Okay, thank you, sir. Any discussion or move findings of fact?
I'm comfortable moving.
All right, findings of fact, variance application 25-029. A, whether the property in question will yield a reasonable return or if there can be a beneficial use. Both of them are in play as we speak. So yes.
Yes.
B, whether there are unique physical circumstances or conditions that prohibit the property being developed in strict conformity to the zoning regulation, such that the variance is necessary to enable a reasonable use of the property. I think in the broad sense, no, but in the short sense, I mean, there's that existing sign frame that's already there. So I mean, we could go either way on this.
I have no.
I can go either way. I'm fine.
Okay, so we'll say no for B. C, whether the variance requested is substantial.
Part of it is.
There we go. So that would be yes.
200 and some odd percent.
Mhm. D, whether the essential character of the neighborhood would be substantially altered or adjoining properties would suffer a substantial detriment. considering it's basically replacing a similar sized sign, I'm gonna say no on that.
Agree.
Yep.
Okay. E, whether the variance, if granted, will substantially or permanently impair the appropriate use of the adjacent property. Say no.
No, sir.
F, whether the variance, if granted, will be detrimental to the public welfare. I don't think
No.
that's a question. G, whether the variance, if granted, will adversely affect the delivery of government services.
No.
No. H, he testified, that's no.
Agree.
I, whether the property owner's predicament can be obviated through some other method than variance. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, just make a sign in the right size. J, whether the variance, if granted, will represent the minimum variance that will afford relief and represent least modification possible or the requirement at issue. I'm comfortable with yes on that.
Yes.
Okay, and K, whether the spirit and intent behind the zoning requirement will be observed and justice done by granting the variance. I'm comfortable with yes on that.
Yes, sir.
Agree.
Okay, findings of fact, variance application 25029, I've got yes for A, C, I, J, and for K, and no for B, D, E, F, G, H. That's it, that's all the no's. Any other discussion?
Yes, sir.
Hearing none, can we move to a motion?
I move to approve the three variances from the Pataskala Code for Variance Application VA-25-029 with the following condition. Applicant shall obtain all necessary permits from the city of Pataskala and the Licking County Building Code Department within 1 year of the date of approval.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion and a second, discussion. Hearing none, roll please.
Mr. Howell,
Yes.
Mr. Coleman,
Yes.
Mr. Cooper.
Yes.
Thank you. Variance application for VA 25029 has been approved. Okay, Mr. Robbins? And I'd like to go ahead and move to accept the findings of fact for that variance application 25029 as discussed just a few minutes ago. Can I get a second?
Second.
And any discussion? Roll please.
Mr. Coleman,
Yes.
Mr. Cooper,
Yes.
Mr. Howell.
Yes. Findings of fact, variance application 25029 have been accepted. Okay. Before I move to the next one, I just want to be clear. I've got two speaker request forms, Mr. Lassiter and Mr. Stipula. Stipula, sorry. I'm assuming those are all for the data centers, because I didn't see them. Okay, very good. We'll get them to you shortly. Moving on to variance application 25-037. Please.
The location of this request is 202 DZ Drive. The zoning is PDD, Land Development District, and the applicant is requesting approval of the variance in section 1255.019 of the code to allow for the use of a low-pressure sanitary sewer system rather than the gravity sewer system required by the CDP estates development text. This is an aerial view of the property. Weezy Drive is to the east. The property is lot 4 of CDP Estates. It has frontage to the east and northeast on Weezy Drive and Levi Drive. These are both private streets. CDP Estates was established by ordinance 1219.4341 into the it is a PDD development text government document regarding development of the subdivision. Section 8C of the development text specified that lots 1 through 4 were to be serviced by a gravity-fed sewer system. During the construction plans review process, a change was proposed by the developer to the city utility department to use a low-pressure sanitary sewer system due to difficulty that would result from using a gravity-fed system. The change was reviewed and approved by the city's utility department and the Ohio EPA without knowledge of the requirements of the development text. This is the plot of the property. The property is right here. Lot 3.
Lot 4, isn't it?
It's lot 3.
Someone said 4 earlier. Thought.
Oh.
No, it's lots 1 through 4.
Yeah.
But this is lot 3.
Yep, okay.
Per applicant, the lot was designed for and requires a pressurized sanitary system. A variance is required to begin home construction, and the applicant was not aware of the zoning requirement as the system was already installed at the time of purchase. The development text is approved by ordinance 1219.4341, requires lots 1 through 4 to have a ground better sewer system. But during the engineering review, developer consulted with city utility department to change from a gravity to a pressurized system. Change was approved by the utility department and the Ohio EPA without consulting the development text. With planned development districts, the development text is approved by city council becomes the governing document, excepting where the text is silent, then the Pataskala code applies. Since the requirement was codified by ordinance, a variance from section 1235.03B has been requested to allow the applicant to deviate from the approved development text. The BZA approved VA 24-014 on October 8th, 2024, which was a request to allow for the required gravity sewer system to switch to a low-pressure sanitary system at 204 Leasy Drive, Lot 4, as CSU states. The property, which is the property immediately to the north of the subject property. Staff was not aware at the time that Lot 3 also had a low-pressure sanitary system instead of the required gravity sewer system. The changes in the plans for scenic view phase 1 were not approved prior to Jeremy Moore being employed as utility director by the city of Pataskala. The change from a typical gravity sewer to a force main sewer is acceptable, and no other departments or agencies commented. The properties surrounding it are also mostly zoned PDD, planned development district, with either single-family homes or are currently vacant. These are the findings of fact located in your staff report. And should the board choose to approve the applicant's request, the following conditions may be considered. The applicant shall obtain all necessary permits from the city of Pataskala and the Licking County Building Code Department within 1 year of the date of approval. I'm happy to answer the questions.
Questions for Sam?
No.
We had a similar, well, I guess it was a year ago now, right? October.
Pretty much the exact same thing.
Was exactly.
Yeah.
And I was comfortable then. I think it's still fine. All right.
Yeah.
Is there anyone to speak on this? Maria Bandong is here. Can you step up, please? So I'll ask her that question.
Confirm it's the lot 3, not lot 4.
Yes. You could go ahead and get sworn in, please.
Swear you in? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you have this truth, which is the method of the truth of your Do you swear?
Yes, I believe lot 4 is probably. is it
That's the one we
4 or
did
5?
before.
The one we approved.
That's the one we approved before.
Yeah, so it is 3. Okay, so we clarified that. Thank you.
Thank you.
And can Miss, help me pronounce it, Bandong?
Yes.
If you could just state your name and address, please, for the,
Is it my current address right now or this one?
sure, current ones.
My name is Maria Vendome. My address is 242 North Bend Drive, Pataskala, Ohio.
Thank you. And you are
Moving
planning,
future address.
and you're planning to move over to Leasy Drive.
When it's completed.
Okay, thank you. Well, you've heard, besides the clarification of the lot number, is there anything else you want to clarify or bring to our attention?
I think that's about it.
Okay.
Just making sure it's lot number 3.
Not a problem. That's good.
Probably my mistake.
What is it?
It's probably my mistake.
No, it's okay.
And Ms. Bandong, this, when you bought the property, correct?
Yes.
Okay, when you bought the property, were you aware of this zoning restriction?
I did not know before.
Thank you.
I didn't know.
All right. Anything else for us?
No, that's it.
Very good. Well, thank you. If you want to go ahead and MC.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Again, I think it's pretty straightforward considering we've gone through all this
Yeah, I agree.
about a year ago.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to move to findings of fact. Yes, sir. Okay, and I've got the wrong findings of fact here because this is a different order. Let me get the right one. All right, findings of fact, variance application 25-037. A, whether the property in question will yield a reasonable return.
Yes.
I believe it would. B, whether a unique physical circumstance or condition prohibit the property from developed in strict conformity with the zoning regulations. I think that was pretty well spelled out for us, so I'd say yes on that.
Yep.
C, whether the variance requested is substantial. I think I'd have to say yes.
Yep.
Okay. D, whether the essential character of the neighborhood would be altered, substantially altered, or adjoining properties would suffer a substantial detriment. And I'm comfortable with no on that.
I would agree.
E, whether the variance if granted will substantially or permanently impair the appropriate use for development of adjacent property. And again, that would be a no.
I would agree.
F, whether the variance if granted will be detrimental to the public welfare. Say no.
No, sir.
J, whether the variance if granted would adversely affect the delivery of government services. No. H, she just testified, no. I, whether the property owner's predicament can be obviated through some other method than variance. In this case, I'm going to say no.
I would say no.
Smart people said no.
J, whether the variance if granted will represent the minimum variance that will afford relief and represent the least modification possible of the requirement at issue.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And K, whether the spirit and intent behind the zoning requirement would be observed and substantial justice done by granting this variance. And I'm comfortable with yes.
Yes.
Okay, variance application 25037, findings of fact, we find yes for A, B, C, J and for K, and no for D, E, F, G, H, and for I. Any other discussion? If not, can we get a motion?
I move to approve the variance request for variance application VA-25-037 with the following condition: that the applicant shall obtain all necessary permits from the city of Pataskala and the Licking County Building Code Department within 1 year of the date of approval.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
Motion in a second. Discussion. Hearing none, roll please.
Mr. Coleman.
Yes.
Mr. Kipper.
Yes.
Mr. Howe.
Yes. Okay, variance application 25037 has been accepted. It's been done. Good luck with the new home. Hope your construction goes very well for you. Take this moment to make a motion to accept the findings of fact, variance application 25-037 as just discussed. Can I get a second?
Second.
And any discussion?
No.
Roll please.
Mr. Howe.
Yes.
Mr. Cooper.
Yes.
Mr. Coleman.
Yes.
Findings of fact, variance application 25037 have been accepted as presented.
Is everything okay?
No, I wait till it was already done.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you don't have to stay, but you're welcome to.
I
Thank-
go back to work.
I understand. Okay. Now, I believe all the rest have to do with this, the data center. So let's go ahead and,
Of course, the location
So
of this
the
is
main
going to be at the southeast corner of Broad Street and Main Street, just under 90 acres in size. So I'll start out doing kind of a general summary of the whole site, and then we'll narrow into each specific request. So this is the site we're looking at. Like I said, it's the southeast corner of Broad and Main Street here, about 90 acres in size. Currently used for agricultural purposes. Proposal is to construct 4 data center structures with associated site improvements. The project will also require a planned manufacturing application approval, which will go to the Planning and Zoning Commission first, and they'll make a recommendation to City Council, who will have the final decision on that. Obviously, there's a couple of variances that they need before they can move forward with that. Depending on the outcome of those, the overall plan might change. These structures, as proposed, there's 4 total. That are just under 200 feet by almost 1,000 feet in length. And there's going to be an associated utility yard on the south side of each structure. Total height is going to be 58.4 inches to the top of the parapet. We'll need a variance for that, which is going to be 035. Site will also contain a natural gas generator and electrical substation. The general locations for those are shown, but no specific details are given. Here's kind of just a general overview of the entire